10 ways the UK has changed without you noticing. Britain is a country that prides itself on tradition, but over the past few decades, it has quietly undergone a remarkable transformation. From economic shifts and cultural evolution to changes in how people live and work, the UK of today looks and feels quite different from the one many grew up in. These aren't always headline-making events, but slow-burning structural changes that have reshaped everyday life. In this video, we're diving into 10 serious ways the UK has changed without you noticing. Whether you live in Britain or are simply curious about it, these shifts reveal the heart of modern British society. 10. A growing north-south divide. The economic and social gap between southern England and much of the North, Midlands, and parts of Wales and Scotland has widened in recent years. Despite repeated promises of levelling up, many northern towns and rural areas still lag behind in public investment, infrastructure, education standards, and access to quality healthcare. According to data from the Office for National Statistics, life expectancy in parts of northern England is significantly lower than in the southeast. Public transport in London is world-class, while many northern towns struggle with underfunded and unreliable services. Job creation is often concentrated in the south, and broadband access also varies widely. This growing disparity is one of the most important regional challenges in modern British society. 9. The role of technology in everyday life. From smartphones and online shopping to digital banking and telehealth, technology has become a defining feature of modern life in the UK. The digital transformation has brought new levels of convenience, but it has also created a digital divide. According to Ofcom, over 90% of adults in the UK now use the internet daily. Government services have moved online, and cashless transactions dominate urban areas. Even socialising is now digital, with apps replacing pubs for meeting new people. But this reliance on technology risks isolating those without digital skills or access, especially elderly citizens and people in low-income households. The UK is becoming a tech-driven society, and while that's not necessarily negative, it's a change that has redefined how people connect, work, and live, often without realising it. 8. An ageing population is reshaping the country. One of the most understated shifts in UK demographics is the ageing population. The number of people over 65 is rising rapidly. According to the Office for National Statistics, the proportion of people aged 65 and over will reach 24% by the mid-2030. This transformation is placing intense pressure on public services. The NHS is managing more long-term conditions, social care systems are underfunded, and pensions and housing need urgent reforms. Retirement living and accessible homes are in high demand, but supply is limited. This ageing trend is gradually reshaping everything from urban planning and workplace policies to public spending priorities and family dynamics. It's a slow, profound evolution that will define how the UK prepares for the future. 7. The decline of social mobility. The dream of moving up in the world is fading. Social mobility in the UK has slowed significantly. Research from the Social Mobility Foundation and Sutton Trust shows that where you are born still largely determines where you end up. In the 1980s, education was often seen as the key to a better life. Today, however, elite professions continue to be dominated by individuals from privileged backgrounds, with private school students overrepresented in fields like law, politics, and media. Grammar schools are declining, tuition fees are high, and regional inequalities persist. This erosion of mobility undermines the idea of fairness in British life and risks deepening divisions within society. It's one of the less visible but more impactful changes in how the UK functions. 6. A shift in British identity. British identity is no longer bound by old ideas of monarchy empire and tea. The UK is now one of the most multicultural societies in Europe. Nearly 19% of the UK population was born outside the country, according to the 2021 census. This diversity has enriched British culture, cuisine, music, and business. Cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester are global melting pots. However, this cultural transformation has also prompted debates around integration, national values, and social cohesion. The evolution of British identity is ongoing. It reflects a shift toward inclusivity and internationalism, while maintaining unique British traditions. It's one of the clearest signs of how British culture has changed without many people realising the scale of the transformation. 5. The erosion of the High Street. The British High Street, once a symbol of local pride and community, is struggling. Small businesses have given way to chain stores, charity shops, and empty units. According to the British Retail Consortium, thousands of shops closed in 2023 alone. Online shopping, rising rent prices, and changing habits are driving this trend. More people prefer home deliveries, and younger generations are more likely to shop online than visit local stores. Post offices, banks, and independent grocers have disappeared from many neighbourhoods. High streets are still vital for local economies and social interaction, but they need reinvention. Their decline reflects broader economic shifts and lifestyle changes in modern British life. 4. The disappearance of cash. Cash is quietly vanishing from the British economy. According to UK Finance, cash accounted for just 14% of payments in 2023, down from over 50% a decade ago. The shift to digital payments, driven by smartphones and contactless cards, is happening across the UK, even in rural and older communities. While this offers speed and convenience, it also excludes those who rely on cash: elderly people, the unbanked, and those without digital access. Many small businesses now accept cards only, and ATMs are disappearing at an alarming rate. The UK is becoming a cashless society not by choice, but by slow default. This is one of the most dramatic financial transformations in recent years. 3. The decline of public services. Public services are under strain across the UK. Local councils have seen massive budget cuts over the past decade. Libraries, leisure centres, youth clubs, and public toilets have closed. Roads go unrepaired, and bin collections are less frequent. Even the NHS, long seen as the pride of the UK, is facing record waiting times. GP appointments are harder to book. Ambulance delays are increasing. Education budgets are stretched, and many schools are operating under difficult conditions. This steady decline isn't always immediately visible, but it affects millions every day. It represents a quiet retreat of the state, one that's changing how people experience daily life in Britain. 2. Work has become more precarious. The UK job market has changed beyond recognition. Traditional full-time, permanent jobs with pensions and benefits are giving way to temporary, flexible, and freelance arrangements. The gig economy now employs millions of workers. Zero-hour contracts, lack of sick pay, and minimal job security have become common, especially in retail, hospitality, and transport sectors. While flexible working appeals to some, for many, it means instability and financial stress. The rise of remote work during the pandemic accelerated these trends. Platforms like Deliveroo and Uber represent a broader change in how people earn a living. It's not just a shift in jobs, it's a shift in how we define work in the UK. 1. The housing crisis is now a national reality. The UK housing market has become one of the most pressing issues in modern British society. Home ownership is slipping out of reach for many, especially younger generations. The average house price in England is now over £280,000, and in London it exceeds £500,000. Rents have soared. Affordable homes are scarce. First-time buyers face intense competition. The social housing stock is dwindling. Landlords dominate the market, and short-term lets like Airbnb have worsened the situation in popular areas. This housing pressure is no longer limited to London. It affects cities and towns across the UK. It's changing family formation, delaying independence, and fueling economic anxiety. The housing crisis is perhaps the clearest example of how the UK has changed, and it's still unfolding. From the housing crisis to a changing national identity, the UK is quietly evolving in ways that affect every corner of society. These changes aren't always dramatic, but they matter. Understanding how the UK is changing helps make sense of today's challenges and tomorrow's future. The signs are all around us, if we're paying attention. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.